Welcome to our presentation on how to use the PriceSmart vendor portal to create appointments. I'll be walking you through the different steps and information required to create an appointment. As part of the communication process to all our vendors, you should have received the web link to our portal, access credentials such as username and password, and a vendor ID. If you have not received them, please feel free to reach out to us using the contact information provided in an instruction manual or other previous communications. So now we're going to go ahead and access the application. So first thing we have to do is just enter the username. I'm going to use this vendor's username and a password. And then just click at this green arrow to access the application. Okay, so this will be the main view of your application. You're going to notice that you have three tiles. One is called purchase orders, the other one is add appointment, and the other one is called appointment VCP. Each tile has its own purpose. The purchase order tile main goal is for you to search purchase orders and create a shipment. The shipment is needed in order to create an appointment. So we're gonna go through that process as we move forward in this training presentation. The second tile is called add appointments, and here's what we basically add all the information needed to create an appointment. But as I stated earlier, here's where you're gonna use the shipment that you just created on the step one. And the last box here, appointment VCP, it's simply used for appointment cancellations or appointment updates. The instruction manual will provide you more details on how to go about either updating an appointment or canceling an appointment. But what we're going to do first is search for the purchase order that we need to create an appointment. So I'm just going to double click at the purchase order tile. And I'm going to search for the purchase order that I would like to make an appointment for. So I'm going to type. I'll just click here and go to the bottom and just click apply. Once we find the purchase order, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the bottom and click create DO. DO stands for distribution order. And here's what we've simply fill out all the needed information to create a shipment. As I stated earlier, we need to create a shipment in order to create an appointment. So in this case, we're just going to put some very basic information such as what kind of load are we planning to send an appointment to. We want to specify whether it's palletized, crates, floor loaded. You even have the option here of clamp truck required. For this example, I'm just going to use palletized. All right. I'm also going to specify a number of pallets. I'm just going to enter or select 26. Okay. The rest of the information, unless this is a fresh or frozen shipment, then here you specify yes or no. If it's fresh, it's just yes. If it's frozen, then you said no. But this is a dry load, so we're just gonna leave it blank. Okay. So again, at this step, you only actually specifying whether it's a the load type and the number of pallets. And what you do is you scroll down here to the bottom, and under designated resources, you're gonna choose the service level, and you will be instructed to type or select PPD, which stands for prepaid, and then we're gonna type carrier PPD1. Okay. So again, we fill this out under custom attributes. We specify the load type and the number of pallets, and then under designated resources, you choose the service level type, which should say actually PPD, and then the carrier PPD1. The next step is we're gonna click at the second tab, which is called Pickup and Delivery. Here, we need to overwrite this facility, which right now on purpose was left as pending because we need to type in the vendor ID or business partner number. So I'm gonna type 1324829. Okay, you're gonna see here a default address that's pointing at somewhere in Atlanta, Georgia. But once we save all the information, there's gonna be all updated. So since this is a prepaid load, the only thing we encourage here is to make sure the dates you specify here, which I'm actually gonna say the 29th of April as the pickup date, and a delivery date over DC or 2090 is gonna be the 3rd of May. I'll put here the 3rd, the 3rd of May. Where are you? Right here. Okay, and I'm gonna say that it's gonna get there sometime in between 5 in the morning, 5 and 7. Okay, I'm gonna type. The important thing to remember here is that your delivery start and end has to always be greater than your pickup start and pickup end. For this case specifically, as far as prepaid vendors that are trying to make an appointment, the only thing we're asking is that whatever date you type here has to be less than or before the delivery start and delivery end. That's the condition that we need to meet in order for the application to work properly. So just remember that. Next thing we're gonna do is after we enter this information, at that point, we're ready to create a shipment. Remember, we need that shipment in order to create an appointment. So I'm just gonna click save. And then I'm gonna refresh this page a couple of times so I could have a shipment. And we got a shipment ID. So right here in the middle, you have a shipment ID that was created after refreshing the page. And you also have here a purchase order as a reference. Okay. So at this point, we have a shipment, so we're ready to make an appointment. So my recommendation is to copy this shipment ID by either Control C, and then either you could actually minimize the screen, or just close it. But now is when we're gonna use the second tile called appointments. So you click in appointments, okay? And remember, the shipment ID that we just copied, we need to paste it over right here. So we're gonna do, Control V. We're gonna specify where is it going. So we're gonna say DC 2090. We're planning to have this load in DC 2090 on the 3rd. We're considering to have this as early as the 5 a.m. Okay. We also going to select appointment type. We live unload. Okay. So at this point, you have all the essentials that you need in order to create an appointment. You have the facility destination. You have the date and time slot that and time that you're planning to bring this over to DC 2090. And then appointment type is live unload. And you had already, of course, create copy and pasted the shipment that you created before. So the next thing is to, okay, let's see if the time slots are available. So we click here at recommended time slots. and it's gonna give us it's gonna give us actually 4 time slots to choose from. So I'm just gonna actually select the 5 a.m. time slot. Okay. And after I click the one I'm interested in, I just click select. And you notice that here we just update to 5 a.m. Okay. The other thing you can notice here is that we already got an appointment ID generated, which we're going to use for what we call appointment confirmation. So at this point, we have selected an appointment for 5 a.m. in the morning for the 3rd of May. Went to DC 2090, and there's appointment ID, and also a shipment ID here that you could use for future reference or tracking. So once you have selected your time slot and you're okay with all this information, all you have to do next is just save. So when you're saving, all you're doing is pretty much confirming the appointment. So you get here an appointment ID, which was 2125-0048. So at this point, the appointment creation process is completed. But just to kind of recap of what we did, we looked for the purchase order. With that purchase order, we filled what we call a distribution order template with some essential information, such as pallets, if it's a palletized load or not. Um, then we also went into we updated the facility ID. We updated also the dates, okay, which we call pickup and delivery dates. Remember the important rule that the pickup date has to be before the delivery date in order for the application to properly work, okay? And then we create a shipment. And that shipment ID is what we copy and paste it into the second tile. And that's the appointment. That's the shipment ID that will be used for the purpose of creating an appointment. Then you just specify that you want to make an appointment with DC 2090. And then we talked about what time is the desired time, but we haven't confirmed yet whether or not that time slot is available. When you click at recommended time slots, you have some choices, right? And then from there you choose. That's what's actually available at that DC. You select one, and after you select one, you save, and this is all what you get. So I was just trying to recap what we just went through as far as creating an appointment. So at this point, you could always print out this for your own records, or you could just jot down this appointment ID somewhere where you keep, it's safe, and you could use for either, if needed, an update or a cancellation sometime in the future. But at this point, we have pretty much completed the appointment creation process. All you have to do, if you're not gonna do a second or third appointment, all you have to do at this point is just click here at this little guy here, and then just sign up from the application. Thank you very much. I hope you find this video helpful. The instruction manual actually will include more details for as far as any kind of changes you want to make to the appointment. Always remember that appointment ID or shipment ID. That's the way you're going to be able to go back to your appointment and make the necessary changes. But as always, we're always welcome to any kind of questions. So please feel free to reach out to the team here at PriceSmart. Thanks.